triangle, a specific flag fold, and burn it.
Yo, BronyMike!
BronyMike!
Hey dudes, how's it going?
All right, man, what's up?
Not much. I actually missed the cast, unfortunately. I was feeling a little bit under the weather, but I'm back for the after show, hoping to hang out, ask a couple of questions.
Sure, man, go for it.
Woo! I'm actually kind of glad that it's just you guys and not Garrett, because I'm curious about your opinions on this. I'm wondering what the best thing you guys have ever built is. Because I know Garrett's done a lot of crazy stuff in his day, but you guys, I don't hear that much about the creative exploits of any of you.
When I was a kid, back near my grandma's house is the San Diego River, and she had like a whole bunch of kind of property where like there nothing was, and me and my brother and a couple of friends built. It was like a tree house, but it wasn't up in a tree. It was like a fort, and it was probably like the size of a bedroom. Like we built it all ourselves. There was no foundation. It was just like, get some boards, right? Nail some boards into this, and nail some boards into that, and this is the structure. And it was like not structurally sound, but we built it all by hand. Probably when I was like 10 or 11, just hammered a whole bunch of shit together, and it was like our hangout. And then it would rain, and then we wouldn't go to it for a little bit, and we would go back and it'd be full of spiders, and we went no. We were just overrun with spiders. Yeah. Because it was just
probably around the same age, like 10 or 11, me and my friends built these two, we called them go-karts, which I guess you could argue that they were, but we basically took like wooden pallets from Costco and bought a bunch of skateboard trucks and we got these like elementary school seats that we took the legs off of and secured them to the pallets and then put the trucks on them and kind of made it so that we put the front trucks on a board that was on a swivel, so you could steer it with your feet, basically. You just sit there and steer with your feet. And we built two of them, and we lived on a hill with a cul-de-sac, and we just raced them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Did you eat it all the time on those
No,
things?
they didn't fall over, because they were so wide with, like, 4 wheels on the ground.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
When I was a kid, I also made go-karts, and I made it out of, like, we had skateboard wheels in the front, and it was like a bobsled. We could pull the thing to steer, and then we had a little handbrakes to stop.
That's cool.
Those didn't really work. But, I remember I made Luke his own go-kart for his birthday.
Oh, that's
mostly
cool.
because I didn't want to use mine
Of
anymore.
course,
yeah.
But still, I made him one, and I customized it to make it look like the White Ranger because he was super into that. So I spray painted it gold and white and had like the emblems on like the seat and stuff like that.
Nice.
And in my head, it's fucking awesome. I'm sure if I saw a picture of it, it looks
like
so
evil shit,
shitty.
yeah.
But I remember doing like, this is perfect.
That's awesome.
That's really
Also, when I was a kid, we dug a hole in the backyard. Just a hole as big as we could get it, just to see what would happen.
What'd Dad think?
Dad approved it.
Oh, wow.
But I asked my dad, can we dig a hole in the backyard? He said, okay, this is dirt then anyways. And then I remember like going in to get a shovel and hearing my mom saying, I can't believe you said yes. And then my dad said, we're not stopping in a day anyways. So then obviously we didn't stop in a day because we heard that, so we went for like a year.
Oh my God.
It got to the point where it was like the size of a jacuzzi, I would say.
Oh my God.
It was like really big, and so you could put we put a board over it, put the dirt back on top, and you couldn't tell that there was a hole there. So we would just sit there and just spy on people during parties and stuff. It's fun.
That's really fun.
That's awesome.
My only go-kart memory is when my friend Matt Luna had a go-kart in his backyard that nobody ever used, and I remember climbing into it, and he'd gone in to like get a drink, and he came back out, and he's like, "Hey man, where are you?" I'm like, "Oh, on the side of your house. I'm playing with a go-kart." And he went, "No, don't get in." And I went, "Why?" And I pulled my feet out, and they were covered in wasps. None of them stung me. I have no idea. I was wearing
Sticky feet.
I was wearing sandals covered in wasps.
What'd you
There
do?
was a wasp nest. A lot of that, and then I think he sprayed him with like he had like a hose and sprayed him with like a hose, and there it was fine.
Whoa.
Yeah. So there you go.
When I was a kid, probably same age as everybody else, I got a set of power tools for Christmas, the kind that came with like rechargeable batteries, and you have like, okay, here's a circular saw, here's a drill and stuff.
Sure, that's cool.
So I started building things out of wood. So I built I built two things. I built one thing. I built a target for my BB gun, with shelves and everything for it.
Nice.
And I built a jump from my RC car that was way too big. It was probably the end of the top of the ramp was probably this high off the ground.
Oh my God.
And I would just like literally break my RC cars jumping off these things. because they would just go too high and it would just eat it and break into a million pieces.
That's
and
awesome.
I'd have to fix it and build it again.
It reminded me that I built an archery target. I got a bow and arrow when I was a kid as a
really?
birthday gift. And down in behind my grandma's house where we built that fort or whatever, I got like, for some reason there were like stacks of hay down there, and there was like no horses or anything, and this was like next to the San Diego River. So I just grabbed a bunch, I put them up, and then I got, I found like, it was almost like foam core. It was like real soft, a little dense, and
Yeah.
I drew a big target and everything, and would go out back and practice archery. It's a terrible archer.
Well,
There it is.
you know, I think.
Thank you.
USA.
Thanks for your call.
That was a good call.
Thank you for your call,
That's a very
Brony
good
Mike.
call.
Back to the horses.
I think everyone thinks they could be an amazing archer,
Uh-huh.
and then when you do it, it's like
fucking
oh, this is
hard.
tough.
And it hurts your fingers.
Yeah.
Nobody tells you that it hurts your fingers.
No.
It hurts.
And then, like
Yeah.
this area right here, because the
Yep.
Who are we talking to next?
I don't know. Take it. Let's do it.